Welcome to Lecture 20, 3.3, Division of Polynomials and the Remainder and Factor Theorem. So, for Objective 1, dividing polynomials using long division. The division algorithm, I'm actually going to give you the simplified version. You could go ahead and look on page 317 to see the longer one if you want to. But basically, the division algorithm is f of x equals d of x times q of x plus r of x, where f of x is the dividend, d of x is the divisor, q of x is the quotient, and r of x is the remainder. Okay, so for example 1, we're just going to do a small review. This is actually not something we would normally cover in Math 103. For example 1, use long division to divide 345 by 2. Okay, so let's see, dividing 345 by 2, we're going to go ahead and do this. So, what we ask ourselves is, how many times can 2 go into 3? Well, 2 can go into 3 one time, right? So then we do 1 times 2, and then what do? We do the subtraction, right? And then we take what's left, so we have 1. We bring down the next item, 14. How many times can 2 go into 14? 7 times. And then we do 7 times 2, which gives us 14. We do the subtraction, and we get 0. Then we bring down the 5. Can 2 go into 5? The answer is 2 can go into 5. How many times? Twice. Alright, so 2 times 2, 4. We'll have a remainder of 1. So we could write our answer as, let's see, this right here would be our quotient, so 172. And then we have a remainder, 1, divided by the divisor, 2. So let's take a look at example 2. Use long division to divide the following. Okay, so we're dividing this item by that. So this is the divisor, and that is the dividend. Okay, so a little different, but the same concept is going to apply. We're going to end up doing sort of cycles and subtracting. So let's see. Now notice, this item here, it sort of jumps. It goes between x to the 3rd power and x to the 1 power. So I'm going to fill in the blanks. I'll do 0 and then the missing power, so x squared minus 23x plus 3. So I just did that filler point. Not everyone does that, but I find that often helps me. So now what we're going to do, we're going to ignore the negative 5 for a second and just focus on the 2x. We're going to ask ourselves, 2x times what would give me 4x to the 3rd power? Well, we know 2 times 2 would give me 4. Okay, that's good. And then x times what would give me x to the 3rd power? Well, x squared. All right, and then oftentimes students wonder about that 5. I just sort of call it the sidekick. It's just sort of along for the ride. We tend to just focus on the x. So as usual, just like we would multiply the 1 times the 2 to get the 2 that we're subtracting, or the 7 times the 2 to get the 14 we're subtracting, we're going to do the same here. The 2x squared times this binomial, and we get the item we're going to subtract, which is 4x squared, and then the 2x squared times the negative 5, which would be the negative 10x squared. We're doing the subtraction. Those cancel. Oops, that should have been a cubed. And then 0x squared minus negative 10x squared is going to give me the positive. Be very careful. Oftentimes there are small sign errors which can throw your problem off quite a bit. Okay, so that was the first cycle. Just like we did the first cycle up here. Now we do the process again. We're going to ask ourselves, 2 times what? Or 2x times what would give me 10x squared? Well, that would be 5x. So multiplying the 5x to this binomial, what do we get? We get 10x squared minus 25x. Cancels, and then we have negative 23 minus the negative 25. Let's write that out on the side. Ooh, that becomes a positive. And we get 2x. Okay. So that's our remainder, 2x. Then we ask ourselves, can 2x go into 2x? The answer is yeah, it can, once. Okay, let's go ahead, see if we have any remainders once we do this. So the 1 times our binomial again, 2x minus 5. 2x is canceled, and then we have 3 minus negative 5. Let's write that on the side. That'll be 3 plus 5, which is 8. Oh, okay, so no remainder. How would we write our answer? Well, the answer would be 2x squared plus 5x plus 1, and then we have a remainder over the divisor. Just like above how we had the fraction. Now let's take a look at the next one. So we're dividing that by this. Okay, so it's longer, so there's probably going to be a few more steps. Let's see, so we have x squared plus 3 divided into 2x to the 4th. Okay, so notice, I'm going to rewrite this in descending power. That makes it a lot easier to work with. Okay, so then we have negative 3x cubed plus 5x squared. Looks like there are no missing x values. Okay, so we're going to go ahead with the cycle. So first, how many times can x squared go into 2x to the 4th? Remember, we just ignored the 3. Well, 2x squared. Okay, so that's going to be the first cycle. We'll go ahead, so 2x squared times that, that's going to be the 4x the 4th, and then, ooh, interesting, so there's a small skip in the power here. 2x squared times 3 is going to be 6x squared. So this time we sort of miss the middle power. But that's okay, you could just think of a 0x cubed there if you want to, or you can just ignore that. So when we do the subtraction, ooh, I don't know why I wrote a 4 there, that should be a 2x. Okay, so with the subtraction, that cancels, and then we're left with 3, the negative 3x cubed, and then 5x squared minus negative 6x squared would be negative x squared. Bring down the next item. Okay, so, new cycle. How many times can x squared go into negative 3x squared? Well, let's see. It looks like negative. Ooh, this time we have to match the negative. So negative 3x. So negative 3x times my binomial will give me the negative 3x squared minus 9x. Okay, doing the subtraction, these guys cancel. Then we're left with a negative x squared is brought down. And then we have negative 7x minus negative 9. Let me write that out on the side. That becomes a plus, so negative 7x plus 9. So 2x. And then bring down the 1. And let's see, so what do we multiply x squared by to get negative 2x squared? Well, it'll be the, ooh, a negative 1. Okay, so then we have negative x squared minus 3. Doing the subtractions, that cancels. We bring down that negative, or that positive 2x. And then 1 minus negative 3 would be 1 plus, 3, which is 4. And that, let's see, can x squared go into 2x? And the answer is no, we can't multiply it by any of that, so that'll be it. And our answer is 2x squared minus 3x minus 1 plus 2x plus 4 divided by x squared plus 3. And that is it. We do not cover Objective 2, dividing polynomials using synthetic division, or Objective 3, applying the remainder and factor theorems in Math 103. So that is it for this section. Please email me if you have any questions.